Okay guys, sometimes it's really hard to set up chokes or submissions if my partner's not working with the arm here in full mount. In this video, I will show you how to shelf the head, set up for ninja chokes and much more in a full mount attack flow. Oos. Welcome back to the channel, dearest white belts, blue belts. I think that's it. And the rest, and everyone watching who doesn't even train jiu-jitsu. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up one of my favorite chokes, which is the ninja choke, in full mount, but so much more. Let's just get to it, guys. We have a few videos. I think we have a really cool video on the channel on mounted attack flows, where I really isolate an arm and try to attack my partner. There, I'll put a link up right here if you want to check that out. But sometimes it's very hard. My partner keeps his arms really tight. I'm in this high mount and I cannot isolate the arms. Now, the best thing to do here is to, sorry, not MMA. The best thing to do here is to work with his head in this position. I really want to turn my partner, take his back, isolate the arm, but it's kind of hard. In the gi, it would be amazing for me to open up my lapel or his lapel and start adding chokes, but in no gi, that's so much harder. So first things first, I'm going to isolate the head. I'm going to walk my mount up pretty high. I think some of you guys know the mother's milk submission here. If you don't, you really should check it out. If the arm comes out, I'll open it up and start working for arm triangle. But my partner keeps everything super tight, yeah, and I'm just trying to annoy his face here. My elbows are strong around his body and my mount is pretty high, so when he bridges, there's not much pressure on my hips. Now, I'm a big fan of the following concept, and pay attention, especially if you're a beginner. I always want to be able to base in the full mount. So that means if I'm working any kind of submission and my partner tries to bridge or bridge me off, I can base either with my hands or my head to maintain this top position and not get reversed. Yeah. So keep that in mind. We're going to get to that later. Today, my goal is to, as I control his head here, bring one of my arms to the opposite side. Now there's times when I try to push his head away, I'll show you on this side, where I push with my elbow to twist his head a little bit. But today I'm going to go into this hollow cave here underneath his neck. Now unless your partner has a really fat neck here, there is some space there. What I want you to do is I want you to bring your elbow flat and shelve it underneath his head so you can lift it up. Now my hand goes up and I shelve his head on top of my armpit. If it is on the pin of my shoulder, the top of my elbow, he can slide his head back down to the mat. And it might slide off. So I really want you to shelve it high, put the head on top of your armpit. And I'm going to show you a little bit without his head, is as you're there, I want you to flex your shoulder backwards. So look at the difference between me being here and then putting pressure here. You feel that, Ties? Mm-hmm. So here, if my elbow points to the ceiling, try to put your head back. He might go. He might slide it back out. I really want you guys to not hurry up. Keep pressure here and ask your partner to put his head back down. Now, if he violently bridges back, we will just injure his neck. I might face plant into the mat. So I like to preemptively put my forehead on the mat as a form of base. And the first submission we're going to do is not going to be the ninja choke at all. I'm going to use this hand and wrap it all the way around his neck as I open up on the other side and hip in for a mounted guillotine. Let's show you the different angles so you can see what's happening. I think the mounted guillotine is a really strong submission. It's a really cool attack angle if you cannot isolate arms. So once again, I'm a big fan of attacking these arms or walking this up, as you might know, for give reps or arm triangles. But today, he's keeping it all very tight, and I, unfortunately, am not allowed to punch. I control his head here, keep pressure, I try to annoy him. If at any time during this point or this point, he starts to use his hands to defend, I'm back to attacking the arms. So we're not going to do that today, but keep that in mind. Once he starts using hands, I'm attacking hands. As I shelve his head, here, I make this push-up position. I flex my lats backwards, put my forehead on the floor. Now I don't want to circle from my shoulder because I will lose his head. So if you want to reach for a guillotine with your shoulder, you're going to lose him. I'm going to keep my shoulder here. I'm just going to pummel my elbow, like a pummel from the elbow joint. So as we're here, I keep it tight, I pummel. Now I'm trying to reach for my hand, my left hand, but it's stuck. So what I do, I put my forehead on the mat and I open up this space between my chest. You see my hand there? So I'm here. I open up. The only reason I'm going here is to show you the hand, but I would be on my forehead so I don't roll over. My forehead, as I grab my hand for a high elbow guillotine, now I can just sit back and bridge my hips in. Or what I like to do is go asymmetrical with one hip in and start squeezing for that guillotine finish there. Yeah, to lift his head up. So my guillotine is my primary attack angle. Now next up, I'm here. I don't want to drop this arm. I don't want to go for the guillotine. I'm going to use the other hand instead. I'm going to reach it in between his chest and my chest, like so. In between here, all the way to my bicep, to go for this ninja choke. I will wrap my hand around his shoulder, fall to my shoulder and squeeze to get the ninja choke, or a front naked choke. If you want to learn the principles of the ninja choke, check out a very popular video from the ninja choke, but that was all from the guard and bottom positions. I think it's from single legs, I'm not sure, but now we're doing it from out. Now, if your partner has a bit of a smaller neck, the blade of your forearm is going to cover the far side artery pretty easily. So that's going to cover this side. Now look at this side, guys. That's why my right shoulder is not going to go down here. You will still see there's space in this artery. And I'm going to wrap it all the way around his neck like so. So I'm going to wrap this around his neck, fall forward, and squeeze for a very tight ninja choke. Depending on the length of your arms, yeah, I'll show you the different angle in a second. Depending on the length of your arms, you don't have to necessarily grab your bicep. You could be tricep deep, shoulder deep. Depending on the length, you should feel where the position is to go. So now I'm wrapping all the way around my tricep, bring my shoulder in, I grab my own shoulder, and I squeeze. Let's see the different angle. Working the position. Now the arms are open, I will attack those. So usually it's when they're tight. I get high, work. Try to shelve the head. This is the biggest battle. If at any time he pushes his head back, tries to react with his hands, we're back to attacking different stuff. I get to shelve it. Yeah, I lift up. I go in for the ninja choke. You'll see my hand popping out here, grabbing my triceps. Grab this and put my shoulder around this carotid artery as I squeeze in. Yeah, to get this rear naked choke kind of finish for the ninja choke. Finally, now this is really cool. Well, as long as I'm based here and with my forehead, I have a pretty good base if my partner tries to bridge me over. So he bridges to the left or right. I have a pretty strong base. But as soon as I take this hand out, he might bridge to the left because I just took that base away. If I don't react and he pushes me to the left, 1, 2, bridge, we might roll over. Maybe I can finish the ninja choke from the guard, as mentioned. But he just threw me over, and it might be pretty hard to get deep into the ninja choke because once he bridges, his hat will also pop out a little bit because it goes backwards. Now let's see the final follow-up in this amazing attack flow. Yeah, our main focus was the guillotine, then the ninja choke. Is now as soon as I shelve his head, yeah, I take away this base, and once he starts bridging, I dip his head down, bridge to the left, I dip his head down, shoot underneath his armpit. My hand comes here, his head is on my stomach. I have AB away, close my arms for the anaconda, maybe block his elbow or grab his leg, walk in and squeeze for a beautiful anaconda choke. If you want to learn more about the anaconda choke, we have an old basic video on that, or just search for anaconda chokes. But that's it for today. Don't want to keep this video too long. Yeah, kind of a shorter one. I think it's a really cool attack flow if they don't give the arms. The best thing is mix it with the other attack flow video we have. When they use the arms to defend, or vice versa. When you defend the arms, you go for the neck, and they have a nice attack flow. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Xmartial, sponsor of this video, and see you in the next one. Peace.